Hi, so this is my 3-week post triple heart bypass surgery video. Some people call it triple cabbage surgery or open heart surgery. Um, I think the key thing is once they go into you here and pull it open, sorry for the crudeness, um, it's basically open heart surgery, whatever they're doing inside. Hopefully they're fixing, and then once they close you up, you just carry on. Somebody kind of coined it, I read before or after the operation, that once you've had the operation, you technically you're recovering from a broken bone, the same as any other broken bone, which is the sternum being fused back together again. I think that's a little bit of an oversimplification because although hopefully everything's fixed on the inside, mentally it's not just a broken bone. I broke my bone when I broke my elbow when I was 15, and I didn't go through a roller coaster of emotions back then. So just a broken bone, I think, is a big oversimplification. It's a lot more involved in that. So we're going to cover a few things today. We're going to go through the changes that I've noticed over the last week. We're going to look at some of the physical things that I'm going through, and again some of the mental things that we're going to go through, and maybe a lot of the update videos that I'll do in the future are going to cover these things as well, because they seem to be the important things. They were certainly important to me. I wanted to see how everyone else was doing when I was getting my surgery. Thing was, the videos I watched, it was seemingly all about the physical side, very little about the mental side. And now that I've had the surgery, and actually before the surgery and after, the mental side of things is just completely crazy. It's a complete roller coaster of emotions, and nobody really talks about it. Not that I found anyway. And I spent a lot of time looking for videos. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do my own videos, so that I could kind of impart and share some of the things I'm going through to help others, but also so that you get a chance to comment on my video about what you're going through, and I think that's important as well. So my aim is to try and respond to everyone's comments, and hopefully have a little conversation about how you're doing too. So we've gone through those. One thing I did want to mention is my first video that I did, it was about 52 minutes long. I never intended it to be that long. And if you've watched it, whether you felt it was too long or you felt it was okay, can you just drop a note in the comments? Because if I get everybody saying they felt it was too long, I'll go back and chop it up a little bit and make it more manageable. When I told my wife how long it was, she said nobody would watch it. And she may be right, but when I played it to her, she felt it was quite engaging. So I left it as it was. I wanted to get it out there. I'm the type of person that would kind of process it a little bit normally before I stick a video out, but I wanted to get it out there just so that it was done, because there are so many things involved in trying to process a video that I knew it would take me a little bit of time. So your comments and your feedback is going to be really important. The other thing is I'm going to be making some videos. I'm not going to go overboard with the videos, but hopefully there's going to be something in there for everyone. If you can like and subscribe, that'll be useful. That kind of shows me it's worthwhile doing. Make sure you add a comment. We'll be talking about a few things, and I'll ask you for your comments about those. if you had 3 different comments to the video, or about 3 different sections, that's absolutely fine. It's no problem, and I'll come in and answer, give you feedback on each one of those too. And if you can share the video, YouTube has some wild algorithms. You know, when I made my first video, I wasn't even sure anybody would watch it. Well, I posted it a few days ago. I've had 24 views, 1 like and 2 comments, and so somebody's managed to find it. I would just like more people to find it and hopefully find it helpful. Okay, so let's jump in. The changes that I found in the last week. So walking, sorry, just before I started the video, I got a frog in my throat that I can't seem to clear. But we'll press on, because this is the second time I tried recording this video, and I got 10 minutes in and then my phone shut down, so I don't want to keep on doing that, otherwise this one will never get out there. So in the first 6 weeks in the UK, we're told exercising is limited to walking, and so with 3 weeks in, the other day I did 2 miles, which is pretty good. Before this happened, I never did any walking really. You know, I'd go into our gym in the garage and do some cycling a little bit and do some weight training, but I pretty much stayed in the house. It was like a hermit in a way. I'd given up work a few years back, and I tinker around on the computer. I also have a kind of a professional / hobby, which is something that I picked up in the last couple of years, and that's being an Elvis Presley tribute, which I absolutely love doing, and I can't wait to get back to it in some form. And you can find me on Facebook, Mark Knight as Elvis Presley, or Mark Knight as Party Presley. Go along, follow me, have a watch of some of the videos that I've got on there. It's a bit of fun. Let me know below if you like Elvis as well. So walking, yeah, it was up to 2 miles. We're going on a interestingly, today is the 2nd of January, and in the UK we have blue skies, which is unheard of. It's not normally like this. I know it's going to be a bit chilly out there, but I can wrap up for that. It's going to be a lovely day for a walk. So we're going to a lovely big park. So I think we'll probably go over 2 miles today. Each day the aim is to try and increase the pace, or increase the distance that we travel. So that's exercise. Be interesting to see what happens after 6 weeks. I'll keep you updated. At some point in time, we do get contacted by the rehab team, hopefully, to do a rehab course. I have no idea what that looks like. They really didn't give us much information on it. But again, I'll keep you updated with that. In terms of mobility, it's almost, it feels like a fight between my brain thinking I need to hold myself back, but also to push myself forward. And it's such a balancing act and a fight between the both. It's the only way I can describe it. Quite often mentally, I want to hold myself back. I'm feeling sorry for myself and all that kind of thing. But then I also know that that's not going to help me move forward. So that part I'm finding a bit difficult, I must say. In terms of, I had, as you know, if you watched my first video, I had a pneumothorax, which is a collapsed lung, and they stick a tube down here, a chest drain, I think they call it. But it's left quite a big scar that's still a bit tender, so the range of motion trying to get a shirt on and off my head, it's quite difficult. My wife helps me put my shirt on, and there's no difficulty getting this wide V-neck shirt on at all. So a lot of people wear button-up shirts. and that's fine. But before the operation, we practiced getting a shirt on and off, and I bought some extra large V-neck shirts, and I like the comfortableness of the lightweight fabric, and so I'm sticking with these over the button-up shirts. I have managed to start moving my leg more. They harvest the vein out of your leg. I was so lucky that it was done by keyhole surgery, 3 cuts, the top of my leg near my groin, just under my knee, and at my ankle. It is tender all along there, and there's a lot of areas where it's numb, and I can feel a little bit of pain every now and again. But I'm so lucky that they didn't need to make a full cut all the way along, because I think that my imaginations are that would be horrific and terrible to deal with. And my prayers go out to all of those people who did have to have a full cut there. But in terms of mobility, I'm managing to lift my leg up more. So I'm managing to put on my boxer shorts and my trousers. Still struggling putting on socks. There's no way I can put on the stockings that we have to wear, the DVT stockings. They're just much too tight. I don't have the strength to pull them open, and I definitely don't have the strength to pull them on. I can only just manage to pull on normal socks, especially on my left foot. My left leg is the one where the vein was taken from. Showering is getting much better. I'm managing to reach up, do my hair, wash under my armpits. I'm now managing to reach down very carefully, very gently to wash my feet. And then when I finished, I'm managing to pretty much towel myself dry, which when I made my first video, most of that my wife was helping me with. So in the space of this last week, maybe a few days, I'm pushing myself to do more, and that's part of the progress that I'm seeing. Small goals every day. That's what we're going for. Okay, so in terms of physicality and physical things that have happened, still having problems with my hand. They put a cannula in my arm, in my hand here, and when I had a CAT scan, a CT scan, they injected imaging stuff in. Really hurt. It was very painful, and I don't know if it's this painful for everybody, but I shouted out to people that it felt like it had gone wrong. Nobody heard me or paid attention to me. They were all behind the screen, but the area then went red after and got bruising. They quickly took the cannula out because there wasn't any need for it anymore, but it's kind of left me with a numbing feeling on the back of my hand and tingling feeling in my fingertips, and the strength in my hand is much less. In terms of gripping, the strength seems to be okay, but if I'm eating with my knife and fork, the fork in this hand just doesn't seem to have any power whatsoever. And the pincer grip, the pincer feeling, I can feel that is much reduced. The other thing I've noticed is because of this and the scar, the the scar or whatever it is near where the chest strain is, you almost feel kind of hunched all the time, which is causing my shoulder to ache a lot. And so trying to do some gentle exercises for that. I don't remember to do the exercises very often, which is a problem in itself, and I need to get better at that. And also, we're told to do deep breaths. I read somewhere where you have to hold it for 8 seconds and then release it. And that's also going to be good for your lungs and your heart and everything, but also the sternum to help it expand. I suppose also, if I'm sitting up properly, that's helping my back and the cinching. So I've been pretty lax at doing that lately. What I did when this all first happened was I set a reminder on my phone every hour to remind me to do those exercises. And I haven't done it for the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to reset that alarm just to make sure that that I keep doing it. And then, of course, my leg. I see a lot of posts and things about people years after they're op having pain still or numbness in their leg where they harvested the vein. I've no idea what it's going to be like for me in years to come. I've almost resigned myself to the fact that there will be ongoing, not issues per se, but ongoing feelings of it not being 100% right. And if I'm wrong and it gets back to 100% right, then all the better. So here's the biggest stumbling block I found, and it's not just me, it's everybody. On the day they told me I was leaving hospital, it felt like they were rushing me out of my bed. I think they came and told me that I was leaving, and within the hour, within the hour I'd showered, got dressed, my brother had come to visit me, and I was basically, a nurse had come along, then started helping me pack my stuff up to ship me out to what they call the departure lounge, where we go and sit for hours waiting for our medications to get ready. I understand why they do this. They need the bed for somebody else. But it didn't make me feel great, especially after being in the last, say, 10 days in hospital. I had almost full-time attention given to me. Then one night, hardly any attention. And then the next morning, they're whizzing me out of the hospital. It felt like I'd been forgotten about immediately. There seemed to be no immediate follow-up or aftercare when I got home. You know, I don't know. I might have appreciated a phone call when I got home, where somebody just said, "How are things? Is there anything else that you need to know? Have you got any questions?" Anything, but there was absolutely nothing. Well, after a couple of days, of course, I still had this pain in my wrist, or numbness in my back of my hand, tingling in my finger. So I called the ward that I was on, and they said to go to minor accidents or instant. It's like a surgery that's open up just for minor stuff. So we went there. The chap was really nice. He couldn't see any infection problems, and I'm not sure now, thinking about it, that we were looking for an infection. You know, I remember thinking at the time, what was the point of going to minor injuries when you can't see anything on my hand? My hand looks okay. What are they going to be able to do? But we went anyway, and they did some, you know, tests, checked my pulse in different areas on the hand, and they couldn't see anything wrong with it. So that was fine. Then I needed the stitches out from the chest strain that I had, so I had to make an appointment with the doctor or with the nurse. Nurses weren't comfortable taking out the stitches because the sutures were quite large, so it took me a couple of attempts to get that done. Then they asked me to go and see a doctor that was there, and that was really helpful. That was the first. This was like after a week. This was the first contact with somebody who wanted to just check my blood pressure, check my oxygen, just do some very basic tests. She found my information on the system about what happened. She gave me some comfort and some peace of mind, but I had to go looking for it, and it was only accidentally that I managed to see the doctor. There was no plan in place for that to happen, and I found that useful. If I didn't need to have sutures out, none of that would have happened, and so it just seems crazy to me that they would let us alone. They must know mentally how we are all feeling and doing. It just doesn't seem right. I'm still going through the feeling of how did this all happen to me? Did I even have a heart attack? Or did I just get chest pains? They say I had a heart attack. I don't feel like I had a heart attack. I felt like I had chest pains. Is that a heart attack? I don't know. I just mentally still can't get to grips with it all. Also feel, why me? Why would this happen to me? That makes me feel bad just thinking about it. And I think when I was in hospital, there was a 23-year-old young girl there. She looked about 16, but I could see that she had plaster on over where her scar would be. How could I feel sorry for myself when there's a 16-year-old there who has had open heart surgery? I don't know what went wrong there, but it went wrong enough for someone to have to go in and do that to her. So I feel sorry for myself. I feel bad for feeling sorry for myself. I know that if I feel sorry for myself, I can't push myself to get better. So there's this constant fight and a complete roller coaster of emotions. The emotional side is getting better now. I'm not breaking down into tears as much as I was before. And so things are progressing, but still a lot of questions unanswered. I wish that they'd sent me home with a menu or an index or a glossary that said, if you feel this, then this is normal, or if you feel this is not normal, contact the GP, because I still feel like I'm walking on eggshells. If I breathe in and I feel the slightest twinge, I don't know whether that's right or wrong. Because I had to call the doctor when I left the hospital. 3 days after I left the hospital, I called the doctor to arrange an appointment to get the sutures out. And when I was on hold, the hold message was, and I understand this was between Christmas and New Year, but it could have been any point in time because the message is pretty much the same all the time. If this call is not an emergency, hang up and call us on the 6th of January. And that was like the 22nd or 23rd of December. So that's how in the UK, that's the kind of contact we have with the GPs that we need to get answers from. I can't call the GP and just ask a question because there's no way of doing that. I can't email them because it'll never get checked. So what do we do? I don't know. Is it the same where you are, wherever you are? I know I get people from the States watching the video. Is it a little bit different in the States because you pay for you pay for your you pay insurance, or you pay for your doctors to give you answers to questions? I don't know. I must say that NHS service, whilst I was in hospital, it could not have been better. I was cared for so well. It completely shocked me, in fact, how well everything. I thought it was going to be good, but it was above my expectations. Everything was above my expectations. But since coming out, I'm now back to where I thought it would be. You wait till the 6th of January to contact us. And when you call on the 6th of January, it'll say, we're fully booked now. If your call isn't of an urgent nature, call back in a week's time, or something like that. So that's where we are now. If you've made it this far, this is my second video on my 3-week post-op. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Were there any things in here you want to hear more about? Let me know what stage you're at, whether you're a caregiver, whether you're going through this yourself. If you've got any questions, please ask me. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I'm going through this with you, and I've done an awful lot of research, and I may have some answers that you haven't managed to find. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video, and thank you for watching.